Welcome back to Overtime Sessions, where we dig deep into the untold stories of athletes who've lived the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Today we're spotlighting a man whose career was fueled by pure speed and tested by life's toughest hurdles. Former NFL running back, Michael Bennett. Michael A. Bennett was born on August 13, 1978, on Milwaukee's north side. He grew up in a working-class neighborhood where football started as backyard fun with neighborhood kids. His family kept things private, but they nurtured his drive and discipline, encouraging books as much as sports. At Milwaukee Trade and Technical High School, Bennett became a two-sport phenom. Football, over 1,500 yards and more than 20 touchdowns his senior year. Track, lightning fast. He set Wisconsin State records of 10.33 seconds in the 100 meters and 20.68 in the 200 meters, marks that still stand. Colleges lined up, but Bennett stayed close to home, committing early to the University of Wisconsin-Madison to run in a pro-style offense. In his first two seasons, Bennett first backed up Heisman winner Ron Dayne before exploding as a junior. Despite a hamstring injury that cost him 2 games, he racked up 1,592 yards and 10 touchdowns in just 10 contests, ranking among Wisconsin's all-time single-season leaders. On the track, he posted personal bests, near Olympic qualifying times, 10.00 in the 100 meters, 20.66 in the 200 meter. That junior year wasn't all highlights. At the 2001 NFL Combine, Bennett was arrested on 2 misdemeanor disturbance of the peace charges after a dormitory incident. He spent 9 hours in jail, a humbling experience he later called a turning point in learning self-control. Cleared to work out, Bennett dazzled scouts at Wisconsin's Pro Day, a 4.38 second 40-yard dash, 39.5-inch vertical, and a 10-10 board jump. The Minnesota Vikings, needing a featured back after Robert Smith's retirement, loved his home state ties and breakaway speed, making him the 27th overall pick in the 2001 NFL Draft. His rookie year in 2001, he had 382 rushing yards and 254 receiving, showing dual threat promise. But his breakout year would be in 2002, 1,296 rushing yards, 351 receiving, a Pro Bowl selection, Bennett at his peak. But the road ahead wasn't smooth. From 2003 on, hamstring issues slowed him down. He moved through Kansas City, Tampa Bay, San Diego, and finally Oakland, adapting to rotational roles and battling injuries. Over 11 seasons, he totaled 3,703 rushing yards and 1,294 receiving yards, proving his resilience despite never again topping 600 rushing yards in a season after his Pro Bowl year. As his career would wind down, in 2010, with the Raiders, Bennett spiraled into depression. He shared the heartbreaking memory of sitting alone in the Raiders parking lot with a gun, believing he had no life beyond football. But family support, therapy, and realization of his worth beyond the game pulled him back, giving him a new purpose. Retiring in 2011, Bennett returned to Milwaukee to raise his 2 children and invest in his community. He launched programs for youth athletics and academics, mentored young athletes, and even coached part-time at his old high school. Today, he speaks openly about mental health, using his story to inspire resilience and hope. Michael Bennett's journey reminds us that speed can electrify a crowd, but strength, real strength, shows when the stadium is empty. From record-breaking sprints to the quiet battle for his own life, Bennett proves that your greatest victory can be rediscovering your purpose. You are not going to believe this. Just when you think you have the full story on this player, you run into something unexpected. I didn't see this coming. Did his life really take a turn for the worse? Let's find out. So yes, Michael Bennett faced significant legal troubles after retiring from the NFL, including multiple convictions and prison sentences. In 2012, he was involved in a wire fraud. Bennett was sentenced to 15 months in federal prison for his role in a fraud scheme involving an undercover FBI check cashing operation in North Miami. He He and several others, including former NFL players William Joseph and Louis Gottschalk, cashed approximately $500,000 in fraudulent tax refund checks. So the FBI conducted an elaborate undercover sting operation in February through April 2012 in North Miami, Florida. Federal agents set up a fake cash checking store specifically designed to catch individuals attempting to cash fraudulent tax refunds, checks, and other financial documents. The scheme involved 8 individuals total, including 3 former professional football players. We have Michael Bennett, of course, and then William Joseph, who was a former New York Giants and Oakland Raiders defensive tackle. He came from the University of Miami from the 2001 National Championship team, and Louis Gottschalk, who was a former Syracuse University player who played professionally in Europe. Now, how did this scheme work? The operation was orchestrated through an FBI informant named Lanny Fried, a 34-year-old from Miami Lakes who had been previously caught attempting to cash fake tax returns. Fried introduced the football players to the FBI's undercover cash checking store. Bennett's specific role was he attempted to cash a bogus $200,000 loan at the undercover store. He was recruited into the scheme by William Joseph. His crime involved using inaccurate statements to obtain a loan through wire fraud. In Joseph's role, he tried to cash hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fake tax return checks, and he forged signatures and matched them with fake IDs. The group collectively attempted to cash approximately $500,000 in fraudulent tax refund checks during the 3-month FBI operation. However, no actual money was lost. All payments came from FBI funds as part of the undercover operation, and no checks were actually processed. For Michael Bennett's case, he was arrested on April 30th, 2012. He pleaded guilty to 1 count of wire fraud in August 2012, and he was sentenced on October 26, 2012 to 15 months in federal prison. He was 34 years old at the time. Bennett's attorney maintained that Bennett had nothing to do with cashing fraudulent tax checks, nor was he charged with such. The defense emphasized that Bennett took full responsibility for his mistake and was ready to move forward with his life. So just like the attorney said, Michael just wants to move forward with his life and just take this as a learning lesson, and nothing like this would happen again. Until November 19th, 2015, Michael Bennett was arrested in Petaluma, California, after the parents of his then-girlfriend became suspicious when they received mail from loan brokers about loans they never took out. So Bennett was living on the property of his girlfriend's parents, who were both over 65 years old. What happened was Bennett broke into the parents' home to steal important financial documents and personal information. He used the stolen documents to forge loan applications in their names, successfully obtained $225,000 to $325,000 in fraudulent loans. According to Sergeant Ed Crosby of the Petaluma Police Department, it looks like he used the money to purchase at least 1 vehicle and go on some shopping trips. The initial charges, he had 9 felonies total, included grand theft, burglary, forgery, elder abuse for financial gain, and identity theft. His bail was set at $1 million. Upon arrest, Bennett immediately confessed to the crime, according to Sergeant Crosby. Bennett was already on federal probation at the time of his arrest from his 2012 wire fraud conviction, making this a federal probation violation as well as state charges. On December 15, 2015, Bennett was released from San Francisco County Jail to a halfway house in San Francisco while awaiting trial. In March 2017, Bennett pleaded no contest to felony charges of burglary, identity theft, attempted theft from an elderly adult exceeding $100,000. On May 24, 2017, Bennett was sentenced to 5 years in California State Prison at the Sonoma County Courthouse. In addition to the state charges, Bennett was found guilty of violating conditions of his federal supervised release. Violation 2, failure to provide access to requested financial information that ended October 16, 2015. Violation 3, failure to submit truthful and complete written report within first 5 days that ended November 1st, 2015. Violation 4, failure to submit truthful and complete written report within first 5 days that ended June 1st, 2015. Federal sentencing on October 26, 2016, additional federal penalties for probation violations. This was Bennett's second major fraud conviction, occurring just 3 years after serving 15 months in federal prison for the 2012 wire fraud case. The fact that he committed these crimes while on federal probation significantly increased the severity of his legal situation and demonstrated a pattern of financial fraud targeting vulnerable victims. So it looked like Michael Bennett was in need to get more money, and I wanted to see what was his career earnings in the NFL. And it said it was approximately somewhere between $12 to $15 million across 11 seasons from 2001 to 2011. His big contracts came with his rookie contract. It was 5 years of almost $6.2 million. He had a $2.65 million signing bonus, and he earned approximately $3.5 to $4 million during his time with Minnesota. And after that, he signed a 2-year worth $3 million, $1 million signing bonus with them. And then he signed out through the rest of his teams with Kansas City, Tampa Bay, San Diego, and Oakland. So it does seem he did have issues handling with his finances. Don't know what the exact source of it is, what was the reasoning of why he had money issues. It wasn't mentioned anywhere, but it does seem to be that this was the pattern of why he was trying to get these schemes going for himself. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you like stories like this, subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, hit that like button and comment about what you think about this story. Thanks for watching again. I'll see you next time in Overtime.